Hi there. My name is Paul. I'm the lead pastor at Church 180, and I just want to say thanks for taking a couple minutes to hang out with us here on our website, church180.tv. My guess is that you probably are checking out this website because you saw our big road sign there on Church or on India Hook, and it says, "When you're ready, we are too." And I just wanted to explain a little bit what the thinking behind that sign is. You know, over time, my guess is that we have all had some kind of exposure to the Christian faith. Maybe you've gone to church, you've been a Christian or known Christians, you've had an encounter with God. Just because of our culture, it's almost impossible to live any number of years and not have that happen. Unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is, we are in the church, we either are a Christian or we have friends who are Christians, and we have a bad experience, and we're disappointed or we're hurt or frustrated, and sometimes the tendency is to say to ourselves, if this is what God is about, if this is what the church is all about, if this is what Christians believe, then I don't want anything to do with it. And we walk away. Our hearts have been hurt, we've been disappointed, we're angry, and we just walk away from it. As life has it, though, as we grow older and we face different experiences in life, maybe you have a child and you begin to feel the weight of parenting, or maybe you move to a new area and you say, it's time for a fresh start, or maybe it's just that you start thinking to yourself, I do need to re-engage with God again. And then the question is, where? How do I re-engage with God? Well, this is my hope, that Church 180 will be a place, and I believe that it is, a place where people can discover God at their own pace. Basically, we believe that when you make a connection with Jesus, 180s begin to happen in your life, hence the name Church 180. He does actually transform our lives, and healing begins to take place, and hope begins to take place, and new things and new relationships begin to evolve in our life. And one of the things we know about the church is we're absolutely not perfect. I was having a conversation with a buddy the other day, and he was talking about just some of the stuff that's going on in his life. And I basically said to him, look, the church is not a place for the perfect. A church is not the place for people whose lives are all together. And if it were, I'd be the first guy kicked to the curb. So what we know is that while we're not perfect, and we admit that, we are a group of people who are moving towards God and seeking to become more like Jesus in the way we live, in the way we love, in the way we lead. That's what we are becoming. And so, at Church 180, you will find people who are mature in the faith, and you'll also find people who are still working through a bunch of issues. That would be me, right? I'm one of those guys that's still working through issues, yet God has trusted me to be the pastor of this church, and I'm super fired up about that. Let me tell you a few things about C180 that are important for you to know. The first is that we are pretty fired up about Jesus. He is making changes in people's lives. He's loving us into health. He's loving us into new life, and we think that's pretty important. Another thing you should know about us is that families are really important to us. Kids are really important to us, and we have a good family ministry, a strong presence in the church when it comes to kids and how we care for families. Now, this is personally of high value to me. My bride, Sherry, and I, we have, in fact, very soon, our 6th daughter will be here. I'm going to have 6 weddings to pay for, so that's a big deal. And so family ministry, the way we care for our kids and the way we nurture families is really important to us. We've done a good job, and our goal was to create a place where kids would want to come on Sunday. They would want to be a part of this church environment. And we've done that. So basically what happens, like when you bring your kids to church on Sunday, they don't even come to church with you. We have a church just for them. They go and they sing their songs, and they have a lesson just for them, and then they break into small groups and talk about and apply the lesson they've learned. And then we jack them up on sugar and send them home to you. Yeah? You gotta love that. All right? And then something else that's pretty big for us is we have what we call life groups. And basically life groups are opportunities for people to come together and develop new friendships, develop new relationships, because as you are growing in your faith and as you're moving towards God and as you're rediscovering what it means to evolve in your faith, we just think the Bible teaches that you need friends to do this with. So one of the ways we do that is through life groups. For instance, every other Sunday night, Sherry and I have a group of friends over to our house, and we have life group. We eat together, we laugh together, we're getting to know one another better. Just do a little life together. So we do that. We do our Sunday morning worship experience, we do life groups, and then we're connected to the community. We have 2 community partners, Rock Hill, here in Rock Hill, Evanport Elementary, and Pilgrim's Inn, which is a homeless shelter for women and children. And we pour a lot of resources, both personnel, our volunteers, and our financial resources. We're committed to helping them. You know, the Bible says this is what real religion is, that you care for the widows and the orphans, and that we care for those who can't care for themselves. And God has just opened up some cool doors for us to partner with them there. So we do those handful of things. We do our Sunday morning worship experience, which includes we have a worship opportunity for adults and children. We have life groups, and then we're connected to the community. And that's what we do. We don't do Wednesday night or Sunday night. We just connect people to these opportunities to grow in their faith, to worship, to build new relationships, and to serve the community. Now, that's a lot of information, I know, but here's just basically what I want to say to you. If you have at some point in your life moved away from God, moved away from the church, kind of turned your back on the Christian faith, and now you're thinking, you know, it's time for me to re-engage. What I'd like to do is invite you to C180 and say, when you're ready to rediscover faith, when you're ready to re-engage with God, when you're ready, we are too.